Yo, what's brackin' gamers? It's your boy Zyphos here, back with another video, and in today's video, I'm actually bringing you guys the top 5 SMGs in my opinion. I'm ranking them best to worst in order after this recent patch. There are a lot of big changes to the SMGs. I still think honestly they can do more to them to make them more viable against ARs, but it's a step in the right direction for sure. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Don't forget to drop a like on today's video if you do enjoy it. And starting out at number 5, I'm going to say the MX9. Now the MX9 in the recent update did just get a little bit of a buff. It's got better damage up close, but I still think it just isn't quite up there with the other SMGs. It's got pretty bad range and iron sights, and even with the damage buff, it doesn't really melt compared to other SMGs up close. But on the positive side of it, it does have low recoil, and that's going to bring us into number 4. Now, don't get too mad at me for this one. I know there's been a lot of people saying this gun absolutely melts now, and don't get me wrong, I think it does, but I'm going to have to say the Spitfire. Now, the Spitfire is a melter up close, but the thing is, it still has just a 6-shot kill up close, while a lot of the other SMGs now have a 5-shot kill. So even though the Spitfire does have an insane fire rate, some of the SMGs can still compete just based on their damage. Another positive of the Spitfire is the fast mag extended mag combo that you can put on it. Just really helps you to rush and have a bunch of ammo while you're doing so. The downsides though of using this weapon is it has some pretty bad range. It's hard to control the recoil at those longer ranges, and there's also no grip option for it. Honestly, if it had grip, it'd be a contender for a top SMG, but it just really doesn't have that range. At the number 3 spot here though, I'm going to say the Cordite. Now, lots of you guys know how much I love the Cordite. If you've been following the channel for a bit, I've made a couple of videos with it. And most people don't really like the Cordite, but I think it's really good for pubs, mostly because of its large magazine. It's got 60 by default. If you put the extended mag on there, it goes up to 90, which is crazy good. It also has relatively low recoil, really easy to control. That's really why I like the Cordite. You can just kind of spray a bunch of people down in pubs and not really have to worry about ammo too much. But the biggest downside of using it, in my opinion, is like its bad aim down sight time, and there's no option for quick draw on the gun, which is a real deal breaker for a lot of people. It just kind of feels slow and clunky to use. I think that's why a lot of people don't really like using the Cordite, but it definitely does shred with some patience in the right hands. But that's going to bring us into number 2. We have the GKS. The GKS is like one of the most consistent guns in the game, definitely the most consistent SMG. It has like absolutely no recoil, and they also buffed its damage a little bit up close in the recent update. So it does have a 5-shot kill now up close, helping it contend with the other SMGs, because before it was like a really good AR type of thing because it had no recoil. You could gun people down from mid-range, but at close range it just didn't really do much for you. Pretty much every other SMG was a better choice, but with that 5-shot kill range now, it does help it out a lot. And even though like it's good mid-range, lots of the ARs are still really good mid-range too, so that's kind of why GKS isn't a top tier gun, even though I do have it at number 2 because it is very consistent. I also like it with suppressor a lot. It just makes for a really good stealth class. You can get your streaks up. It's really consistent. It won't really let you down because it doesn't have any recoil. But the number 1 spot, not much of a surprise to most people probably, is going to be the SOG 9mm. It's an absolute schmelter, and it is the competitive player's SMG of choice for the most part. It just absolutely melts if you can control the recoil on it. It's insane. It does have a pretty controllable pattern of recoil, but it definitely has some kick for sure. That's one of the biggest downsides of it for using it in pubs. If you don't really know how to control it yet, it can kind of get out of your hands. And also it runs out of ammo pretty quickly because there's no extended mag option, and it shoots really quickly. So that is a bigger downside of it. It's up there with the Spitfire for fire rate, and it doesn't have that extended mag option like the Spitfire does. So if you're playing pubs and you're running into too many enemies, maybe on Nuketown or something, it's really not your best option because just how fast it runs out of ammo. But It's an absolute melter overall. It's like probably the best sub for just 1v1 engagements. Just based on its time to kill and consistency overall. But that's pretty much gonna do it for today's top 5 SMGs video. Let me know if you want to see more. I'm planning on doing like a top 5 specialist video pretty soon, so let me know if you want to see that, and maybe like a top 5 ARs after this update, because there were a lot of big changes and excited to see what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below what your top 5 SMGs are. Honestly, like, this list was so hard to make because they're all really close. Like, even though the NX9 was last for me, I don't think it's a bad gun, especially after this patch. It's pretty solid, but I don't know, it's just so hard because they're all really close. And I honestly change my mind about this list every day. Like, I was gonna record it yesterday, didn't have time, and then I did it today, and I had to change up a few things on the list even because it just changed my mind that quickly. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hope you guys do enjoy. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share it with everyone you know, and peace out.